Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day so far. Today I want to talk to you about a question, and this is a question that's very, very important in every single one of our lives. And here's the question: how do I know if I'm healthy? You know, I do a lot of talks in our community. We do a lot of different doctor's reports and dinner workshops. And I always ask the audience, how do you know if you're healthy? And I get answers, people raising their hand, they throw out all these answers. The thing is, almost every answer that somebody gives me is different. I get, dozens of answers across the board. Now, most of the time you can fit them in two categories. Most people will say, I'm healthy if I feel good, or I'm healthy if I look good, right? If I could be that person on the magazine. And so basically what they're saying is we're judging our health by how we look or how we feel. So if that's the case, when I ask the question, how do I know if I'm healthy? Then that means I have to feel good and look good, and then I'm healthy. I think we all innately know that is not the case. That you can't base your health on how you look or how you feel. And let me give examples. That person on the magazine who's skinny, who's ripped, who has muscles, they die of cancer tomorrow. They have heart disease and they don't even know it. Do you know the top leading causes of death in the United States, heart disease and cancer, kill 5 out of 6 Americans? And when you're looking at heart disease, for instance, you don't feel it until it's too late. 80% of the time, the first symptom of heart disease is a heart attack. The first symptom of heart disease is a heart attack. That means that person didn't even know they had heart disease. They had a heart attack. And here's just the most devastating statistic, is that 50% of the people out there who have a heart attack die of their first one. I tell this story a lot, but it happened to my mom. My mom passed away at the age of 47. Excuse me. She died of a heart attack in the middle of her sleep at the age of 47. And if you would have asked her the day before, how do you feel? She said, I feel fine, right? But was she? No, obviously not, if she was able to have a heart attack in the middle of her sleep, in the middle of the night. And then you look at cancer, which is the leading cause of death in the United States. And I'll tell you what, people every single day are diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 cancer, and they didn't even know they had it. My grandfather was one of them. Sure, he had a little symptom. It was a cough, but it wouldn't go away. It was persistent cough. He went to the medical doctor. They gave him antibiotics over and over and over. And then, you know what? They said, let's do an x-ray. Let's do an imaging of your chest. Oh, we found something. So then what? Well, they refer him out, and they did more tests and more tests, ended up diagnosing with stage 4 lung cancer. He didn't even know he had it. So if we're waiting to feel something before we start taking care of our health, or if we're judging our health simply by how we feel, then no wonder heart disease and cancer are 2 of the leading causes of death in the United States. You don't feel diabetes, you don't feel, so many of these chronic conditions that are killing Americans, you don't feel them until they are in the last stages, until it's too late. So if I ask you the question, how do I know if I'm healthy? You just simply can't answer it by saying, I'm healthy if I feel good. Or even I'm healthy if I look good. You cannot answer that question with those answers. So let's start looking, how do we base our health, and how do we know if we're healthy? Well, first we have to define health. And the dictionary even says that health is the optimal functioning of the body. Okay, so if health is the optimal functioning of the body, then what controls the function of the body? The brain. The brain and your nervous system controls the function of every other organ. It synchronizes every organ. It tells your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe. Every time you eat one little piece of food, it will synchronize 20 different organs to help digest that piece of food and take those nutrients to 70 trillion cells in your body. It does that every second of the day without you having to think about it. That's the beauty of your nervous system. So if health, by definition, is the optimal functioning of the body, then it makes sense that the one system, our nervous system, that controls the function of the body has to be healthy. That's why we help so many people in our office. We're able to help them keep their nervous system healthy. And their nervous system is the one system that controls the function of their body. Now, obviously, it's not the only thing. We have to make healthy choices in our life. And you know what? I heard somebody I just have a lot of respect for. I really consider him a mentor. Dr. James Chestnut. He's a chiropractor in Canada, a researcher. And he actually said that, our choices, the accumulation of our choices over a lifetime will determine our health. And I paraphrase, but that's basically what he said. And so if that's true, okay, so if we want to answer the question, how do I know if I'm healthy or not, then we'd have to accumulate all the choices that we've made over our lifetime. And when we add those up, good choices versus bad choices, how that weighs, if they were on a scale, if our good choices outweighed our bad choices, I mean, we'd be healthier. If our bad choices outweighed our good choices, I mean, we'd be unhealthier. So if that's true, if we could base our health on our choices, how healthy our choices are, then doesn't it make sense that we should start tracking our choices? And that's why in my book, Healthcare or Sick Care, and this is not just a plug for my book, you can do this without reading the book, but if you've read this, in Chapter 6, we talk about using worksheets to track your health and to track your decisions that you make. Now, you may not be an expert in health, and you might not go teach health classes every week, but you know when you're making a bad choice when it comes to your health, and you know if you're making a pretty decent or a good choice when it comes to your health. So let's start tracking those. And you don't need the worksheets in the book. You could just use a piece of paper. And on one side, you just put good, healthy choices. On the other side, you put bad choices. And every day, you start tracking those. When I drink a glass of water, I know that's healthy for me. If I eat raw fruits and vegetables, I know that's healthy for me. If I go to the gym today, I know it's healthy for me. If I get adjusted, I know it's healthy for me. You know what? If I have that candy bar, or if I have a slice of cake because it's somebody's birthday, I know that's unhealthy. If I drink a soda pop, or if I have coffee, if I drink, whatever it is that I know is unhealthy, I'm going to mark that too. And by the end of the day, if I have more healthy choices than unhealthy choices, I know I had a healthy day. But you know what that also means is that if at the end of the week, I have more healthy choices than unhealthy choices, I had a healthy week. If at the end of the month, if at the end of the year, I have more healthy choices than I have unhealthy choices, that means I had a healthy year. That means I am moving towards health instead of towards sickness. And that's exactly what I want to do, and that's what I want to help you do. So I hope you got something out of today's video. Make those worksheets, and you know what I've noticed? I started out really writing everything down in those worksheets, and once you do that for a while, you're able to track it here. So as you go through your day, you know how many good choices you're making, you know how many bad choices you're making, and always make sure that you're making more good than bad. So to come back all the way around to answer this question, how do I know if I'm healthy? Well, it's the accumulation of my choices in life. Now, sometimes there are things that happen in life that we can't avoid, right? That weren't, maybe they weren't directly associated with our choices. But you know what? You can't do anything about those. The only thing that you can change is your choices. So start changing those today. Let's start making some good ones. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.